Hello everyone and welcome to the Horsey Chess YouTube channel and our very first video. I am Zoe aka Horsey Chess. I am 21 and I am currently a full-time student studying chemistry, but I really enjoy playing chess and I'm just trying to improve at the moment. I am joined by a very special guest, Grandmaster Danny Gormally, who many of you will have met on my Twitch channel. Danny, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 45 years of age, currently living in Alnwick in Northumberland, been a professional chess player for probably over 25 years now. I kind of left school when I was 15, I kind of drifted into chess. So I think that's what happens to a lot of professional chess players. We have no home, so we kind of drift into, it's a bit like, have you ever seen that film, Planes, Trains and Automobiles?
No.
With Steve Martin and John. Well, at the end, it was a great scene at the end with John Candy, the late and great John Candy, and he works out, this Steve Martin character works out that he has no place to go, and he basically it's a little bit like that with chess players. We've got no place to go. Nobody wants us, but we don't care.
So the first question is, what sort of sports do we play and do we follow? Do you want to take that question first?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I used to enjoy like running, and I was quite a good 100-meter runner. I wasn't particularly good at football, but I was quite good in goal. I was quite a good goalkeeper. What I do a lot, I bet on golf a lot, actually. I bet on golf, I bet on horse race. I'm a bit of a gambling addict, a bit of a degenerate, you could say. And yeah, I tend to follow a lot of these golf accounts on Twitter, and it's all these like obsessional people, obsessional about golf, in the same way that we're obsessional about chess. So it's a little bit sad. Maybe I'm like a professional golfer in another life. Or, I'd love to be a professional golfer. What's the term when you say you're kind of
like reincarnation?
Well, not exactly. But, like a repressed professional golfer or something. But I'm not really very good at golf. That's the problem. So.
Fair enough. I mean, me personally, I very much believe chess is a sport. That's not up for debate. I'm very strongly opinionated about that. But in my spare time, I do a lot of dance, and I'm actually the co-president of my university dance society this year. That's very, very exciting. Get to choreograph some dances and put on the show. So when I'm not playing chess, you'll find me in the dance studio. So the next question is regarding some favourites. So we've got to give a few different favourites. The first one is favourite book. I think I might take this one first. I am absolutely 100% obsessed with Harry Potter. Anyone who's come to my stream will probably realise that. I don't think any more needs to be said. Harry Potter, number one. What about you?
I am Harry Potter. My least favourite book is probably Harry Potter. When I was young, I used to like Roald Dahl a lot, and I just read a lot, actually. I just spend all my time reading books, and like Stephen King a lot, like horror books a lot. I read just constantly, so yeah. Oh, comic books as well, I love comic books.
What about your favourite piece of music?
A favourite piece of music, I don't really have a favourite piece of music. When I was younger, my family, we used to go to France, and we'd be driving around. It's like in the summer, it's like hot, it's in the evening. I remember my dad would be driving and he would play Madonna's like greatest hits or whatever, or, the Immaculate Collection or whatever it was. And it was like I remember being like these great songs, and I just have these great memories. It's Madonna, like, love don't live here anymore, just a fantasy, baby. Love don't live here anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough, yeah. I mean, I think I'd say I like so many different kinds of music. being a dancer, I like anything that I can dance to. So I like sort of pop music for certain styles of dance, or country for others, classical music for things like ballet, like Tchaikovsky is good. But
you know what's really weird is, well, I mean, chess players have a correlation with music. So I would say chess is more similar in a way to music than it is to maths. But I mean, it has similarities with both, because I think chess is very intuitive and music is very intuitive. And I remember like a few months ago, I had this song that came out. It was an amazing song that I dreamt in my head. I couldn't really remember it. I remember being like, wow. So it's almost like your subconscious is telling you like better stuff than you're coming up with in real life. Because I can't really play it.
I wrote a song once.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I wrote the piano for it and the lyrics, the tune.
What's it called? I Love Harry Potter.
Imagine. Nah, maybe I'll tell you one day. Yeah, I think one piece of music I'm absolutely obsessed with is like the compilation that chess.com made. I'm not really sure who at chess.com made it, but you know, little shout out to that there. Next question is favorite film or TV series?
Well, I mean, I love The Sopranos. I mean, there's a Sopranos film that's just come out. It's called The Saints of Newark, or something like The Saints of Newark or something. The Many Saints of Newark. But yeah, I just love all films. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to be like a film director and a good TV
I thought
show.
you wanted to be a pro golfer.
Well, no, that was older, later in my life. Obviously, once I was like too old to play professional golf, I wanted to be a professional golfer. Yeah, I wanted to be like one thing I wanted to be. I wanted to be like a graphic novelist, like a you know, write graphic novels and draw graphic novels. But also wanted to be a film director, and you know, a good TV series actually. Staying on a comic book theme. One on Amazon Prime. There's one called The Boys, which is quite very funny and quite scary. So it's kind of like this superheroes, but it flipped. You know, like all the superheroes are like really good. Now they just make a lot of these TV shows where the superheroes are really bad and like terrible people, and they go around killing people randomly. And there's also a similar one which is called Invincible, which is based on a comic book, and that's actually like a cartoon series, and it's really, really good. So if you ever get a chance, that's on Amazon Prime. So you need to be an Amazon Prime member. It's a really good TV show. If you get a chance, and check it out.
Fair enough. I'd say, I mean, being Harry Potter obsessed, I think we all know that Harry Potter would be up there. I also really, really like Doctor Who. I know that's a bit out there, like a lot of people aren't massive fans of it anymore, but I do really enjoy Doctor Who. And also Lucifer. I think Lucifer's a great show. And The Office, actually. I'm watching The Office at the moment. The US version of The Office. It's very funny. If you like a bit of comedy. Yeah. But I probably watch too much TV.
I used to love Doctor Who when I was a kid. I used to love it.
I'll tell you what your favourite thing to watch is, Danny. My Twitch channel.
That's true. But no, Doctor Who was Tom Baker, it was Colin Baker. It was around about that period. Peter Davidson. And I used to love the bit when they I'd get really sad when they kind of changed from one Doctor into another. You know, that really... but yeah, that show used to inspire me a lot when I was younger.
Favourite colour? I think that's quite an easy one for me. Probably purple and or turquoise. I really like. I don't really wear much of them, but I really, really like them for like writing in, like purple or turquoise pen. If you ever play against me in a chess tournament, I'll probably use purple to write my moves down. What about you, Danny?
Quite like red. I keep having these dreams about red for some reason, but I like black as well. That's why I always wear black. So I'm like the man in black.
Yeah, if you're ever looking for Danny at a chess tournament, just look for someone head to toe in black. That'll probably be him.
Okay.
Now on to some more serious questions about chess-related stuff. We were asked what our chess ambitions are going forward. So I think, Danny, I'll throw this one at you first.
Well, I just want to get a better zone because I realise my chess has been in a rut for like a long time, and Um, to attain the greater goals I would like, in terms of, I feel like you gotta do A first to get to B. So if you think, I think it is useful to set yourself goals. We talk about golf. Actually, there's a golfer called Justin Thomas. What he does is he writes down all his goals for the year. So it's a good idea. So I would say for the following year, I would like to compete in the British Championships. I would like to get back over 2,500. It's difficult because I'm older now, so I need to work that a bit harder to actually even get back over 20. I think it's tougher now because there's so many good young players around. So every week, every tournament you're playing maybe every FIDE rated open, you're playing maybe 3 or 4, guys who are out like 16 or 17 or even younger, and they're all like really underrated. So it's really, really tough. So I need to work harder on my chess. I need to put more hours in, stop being so lazy. And then I'll start. What the worst thing is though is when you're just basically just stuck in a rut and you're just going through the motions. I know when I'm playing rubbish chess, and I think you've helped me a lot in that respect, to be honest with you, because you've encouraged me to play tournaments. And I feel like if I'm going to play, I've got to work on my chess. I'm actually I've got the British Championships coming up in a few days, so I've been putting a bit of work in for that. And I want to do well in that tournament. I want to win it.
Yeah, so very, very interesting that Danny, obviously a Grandmaster, one of the strongest players in England, still has some good chess ambitions, so it'd be great to support him along the way and see what happens. I think personally for myself, my ultimate ambition, if I worked really hard and had the time and money to do so, would be to be England's first female Grandmaster. But I think it would be quite a long way off and quite a lot of time and money away. But that would be my
first whole Grandmaster.
Yeah, like the first female actual Grandmaster in England. That would be my goal. But more sort of
realistic goals.
More up and coming. I would like to get the WFM title before I graduate, and I graduate in the very start of July this year, like next year, so 2022. So by the July 2022 FIDE rating list, I'll have to have gotten over 2100 at some point. So it's doable, but it would be very, very difficult, but that's what I want to do. And also I'm aiming to start trying to get some WIM norms, see what happened with that. I'd absolutely love to be British Women's Champion one day, and also to play and represent English women's team at the Olympiad. That would be absolutely incredible experience, the Olympiad.
I think Zoe, I think all these things, it's all about improving and being realistic. So get the process right, improve, look at your weaknesses, look at where you need to improve, and then the goals will come. I think you can be too goal orientated almost when you need to get the process right first. It's all right having goals, but I was talking about this guy Justin Thomas, but he's obviously got a training regime already mapped out. So he's not going, right, I want to do this, do that, but I'm not going to actually bother to do any work. Do you know what I mean? You got to have.
No, I am working. The question was about ambitions.
All I'm trying to say is, it's pointless saying I want to do this, I want to do that, if you're actually not actually putting the work in and actually got, know how you're going to improve. It's pointless to say to get those goals. A lot of those goals, you're going to have to improve. I feel.
100%. I'm not going to just magically get that overnight.
Same with me. We have to improve. Like I don't feel like at the moment I'm good enough to win British Championships. Even the weak British Championships. I know it seems a bit weird, but I don't feel I'm good enough. I feel like the worst thing you can do is be complacent and actually understand that these are your weaknesses. This is what you need to do to improve. So I feel like that's the important factor.
So the next question is, what have you learned from chess and how does it benefit your life? So I think I'll take this one first. So I think for me, chess has actually really helped in quite a lot of ways. Obviously, academically, sitting there for up to sort of 6 hours at a time playing a chess game really prepares you well for exam settings. And I found exams a lot more natural than most of my friends when I went through school. And I also think having that sort of analytic study towards chess does genuinely help with maths and other subjects. I'm not really sure how many studies have been done on that yet, but I think it does help with the way you think about things, what you can achieve in maths and sciences. I think some other things that are often overlooked is that it's really helped from like a social point of view, and I suffer from anxiety, and it's really helped me to grow in confidence, make some really close friends, and learn to sort of overcome things. And I mean, I learned to be able to actually get on a plane and fly because of chess tournaments, which was something that I found really stressful before. So it really helped me with that sort of thing in life in general. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about the social side. So it sounds actually like we had a lot of serious, similar issues with anxiety and everything, because I've also got a fear of flying. And when I was at school, I found often interacting with people difficult. And when I first came to chess, I didn't really have many friends of my own age in chess. And I think gradually I came out of my shell, and I think I was helped by the fact that I played chess and there was a lot of people with similar outlook to me. As far as skills that are relatable to outside of chess, I don't necessarily think that's the case, because I think that chess is a very kind of insular world and it's got its own skill set. I don't necessarily think you can transfer them very easily to outside of chess, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I guess it completely depends on what you're trying to do outside of chess. But I think it would depend a bit on the individual person and what they want to get out of chess and out of life. So the next question is, what sort of training do you do 1 week before a tournament?
Well, I normally just turn on the TV. I've got Netflix, Amazon, do a little bit of, watch a bit of golf. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, on a serious note, I don't do as much as I should. I mean, this is why I'm like 24.79 rated rather than, 27.50, to be totally honest with you. You could say it's talent. I think a huge degree of why the top guys are the top guys is they just work a lot harder, and just spending, maybe 6-7 hours a day working chess. They know their openings very, very well. But in answer to the question, if I was doing prep, I mean, I'm doing some prep at the moment. I'm playing through some games. I'm looking at my openings. I'm trying to learn some openings because my openings aren't up to scratch. I know that now. They're not as good as nowhere near as good as they should be. And I'm also doing training games against the computer as well. In certain openings that I feel like I need to learn a little bit better, I'll play a training game. Say, the computer plays this move. That's interesting. I think another thing you can do, which is very useful, I'll try and do that later actually if I get the time, is do a few puzzles. And that's a good way to improve so I've got a puzzle book somewhere here, and I'm going to get that out later, and I think that will help my calculation. I've even got a chess set, so do you want to see my chess set?
You show off your room to everyone. Room tour already.
You see the chess set.
Oh, I can see it.
The dog's come in the room. Oh, look, she's a star of the YouTube channel. The dog. Do you want to meet my dog? Molly.
I'm sure all the viewers would love to meet your dog.
Come here, Molly. Come here, Molly. Here she is. She's coming in. Oh, she's gone off. She's gone off again. Never mind.
Yeah, so I think my answer to that question would be, I mean, I'm playing a lot of tournaments really close together at the moment, so I don't really have a sort of set 1 week before the tournament, I'll do this sort of thing. But I'm doing chessable to work on my openings. I'm doing some training with Danny to deal with my many weaknesses. I'm lots and lots of tactics, sort of to warm up for things, particularly like blitz stuff. If you're playing blitz to like try and improve clock time and stuff, tactics to warm up with that. Puzzle Rush, it's a lot of fun. The lessons on chess.com are really good at explaining different aspects of chess and how to improve. And then for me, the really, really important things specific to a tournament are, once I know who I'm playing in the tournament, looking up their games, seeing what openings they play and preparing for the game. And then also after each and every game, really analysing it in depth, first without a computer and then double checking my analysis with a computer. And it's really, really nice to see where my analysis is good and where it's going wrong, and helps my wonderful coach Danny to tell me how useless I am and what I need to work on.
But it's not, like I say, I mean, it's understanding your own weaknesses and your how to improve them, I feel, is what games to study, you know, yeah, because there's so much you come to realise when you're playing chess, you're looking at your own game, so much you don't understand. You know, I mean, I'm a GM. It's very, I realise how little I understand about chess. So,
yeah, always lots to work on. So the next question is, how do you handle a loss and bounce back from it?
Yeah, I'm a terrible loser, Zoe. I'm probably, you know, I think all chess players are. It hurts. If it doesn't hurt, you shouldn't really be playing chess, you know. But sometimes I feel like it hurts so much, I just want to quit the game, you know. I mean, I used to bore my teammates silly in the foreign CL by
Me
saying,
included.
I'm quitting chess, I've lost this game, I'm never playing chess again, it's too painful, I can't be bothered, I don't get any pleasure out of winning, I get far more displeasurable to lose a game than it is pleasurable to win a game. However, my attitude has now completely improved because I watch a lot of golf, and one thing I notice is they make a lot of mistakes. Even the best players in the world make double bogeys, and what they'll then do is they'll bounce back and reset, and on the next hole they'll make a birdie. So the best players in the world are very, very good at that. So it's taught me something very valuable about mental strength, is essentially a choice. You have a choice. I think another thing which I mentioned, we were talking earlier, and I said it's very important to own your losses as much as your wins. So if you lose a game, don't make excuses for it. Just own up and say, look, I didn't play a very good game. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. Didn't play a very good game. Process it, move on. That way you'll be able to move on in a better way. You know, the worst thing is you can come up with excuses, and then basically you're probably going to do the same thing next game. You don't realise why you lost. You have to understand why you lost. You know, nobody's going to play perfect chess. There's a good game. We'll keep going on about golf. There's a good book on golf. It's called Golf is a Game of Not Perfect. It says if you stand on a tee and, you know, you're expecting to go through the game of golf, your rounds, without making a mistake, as soon as you make a mistake, it's going to have a huge effect on you. The same with chess. You know, it's not just about how you process defeats, it's also how you process things bad happening during the game, because you know, that can affect you a lot as well, and that ends up leading to a defeat. So, you know, if you accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes and accept the fact you're going to lose chess games, although it's hard to do, that makes you a much stronger competitor in my view.
Yeah, I completely agree. For me, I grew up, my dad always had this particular phrase that he still says to me now, and I really like it's very important to me for him to say it before a game. And he says, if you win, great. If you lose, you learn. And that's like his little phrase for me. And it's sort of saying, yeah, it's great if you win, feels nice, but you're not going to improve from winning all the time. And you need to take those losses and learn from them, because obviously something went wrong. There's always something to be learned from it. And that's really, really important. Identifying what went wrong, how you can improve, how you can avoid that same mistake in the future. And it can be tough. I think a lot of people know I had a really, really tough Hastings tournament. Lost 100 rating points in 1 month. It really wasn't good. And when I was on 0 out of 3, having lost to 3 very low rated junior players, I did cry. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't, and I had lots of people saying to me, well, why don't you just drop out of the tournament? You're obviously having a bad time. Try again next time, play a different tournament, all of that sort of thing. And I was like, no, I'm going to continue it. Even if I lose every single game, all 9 games, I'm going to continue this tournament. I'm going to stick it out. I stuck it out. And of the next 6 games, I got 3 draws and 3 wins within that. So I actually finished on half points overall, so 4.5 out of 9. Still lost a lot of rating points, but at least I didn't keep losing anymore. So I would say it's definitely worth sticking things out, even if you are having a tough time. And another example I remember from when I was younger, I had this tournament, this 5-game tournament, and I got half a point out of 5. So I got 1 draw and 4 losses in this weekend tournament I played. And you might have thought a bit, oh, like, don't really feel like playing chess anymore. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep going. The weekend after, I played another tournament with 5 games. And I won all 5 of my games, 5 out of 5. Won the tournament. Was very, very pleased with myself. So yeah, it's definitely worth sticking things out.
It's interesting what you said about people who said you should withdraw. I mean, I've made a mistake of withdrawing from tournaments before, Zoe, and I think it's a big mistake. I think you should always, like say, that is a way of avoiding owning your losses. You're basically just running away, and that will just store up problems for later. You got to face up to your responsibilities, and just accept that you're going to have bad tournaments. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Yeah, and I think that's really the key thing. It's just your outlook is so important when it comes to dealing with this sort of stuff.
100%. So the last question was just a fun question from a friend of mine that I've known for a long time from the chess world. And he asked, what is the capital of Bolivia? And I mean, I actually know this because I got bored during GCSEs and learned every single capital city. And it's a bit of a trick question, but I'm going to see if you know, Danny.
I know the traditional one that was always listed, which I think is actually one of the highest capital cities in the world, is La Paz, but apparently, I've heard it's a trick, but I can't remember what the name of the other one is. I mean, I know. Okay, if you go through South America, like Peru is Lima, Argentina is Brazil. Sorry, Argentina is Buenos Aires. Brazil is Brasilia. They changed the capital, I think, in about 1960s, and that capital city was the architect, the designer of that capital city was Oscar Niemeyer, I think that's what it is. Venezuela's Caracas. So I'm normally quite good on capitals, but I don't actually know what the trick question is, Zoe.
Well, La Paz is the administrative capital, yeah. But there's also a judicial capital.
What's the name of that?
It's like Sucre. I don't know how to pronounce it. S-U-C-R-E.
Like the sugar.
Yeah, like French for sugar. Sucre.
Okay. Because in South Africa, they kind of have a administrative capital.
South Africa has 3.
Yeah, I think Bloemfontein, Johannesburg, one other.
No, it's not Johannesburg. Bloemfontein, Pretoria and Cape Town.
Pretoria, right, okay. And I've learned something today. So I've actually, so it wasn't completely pointless doing this video. I've actually learned something. Pretoria is one of the capitals, right? Yay.
But yeah, thank you to everyone who comes along and watches this, and let us know in the comments if what you want in future videos and what you think of our chess ambitions, and maybe tell us your own chess ambitions, because we'd be really interested to see that. But yeah, we'll be back with another video soon, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So bye from me. And not bye from Danny.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just ruined your intro. Can you start again? I was just gonna. This could be the bloopers. You just said you wanted to be a professional chess player, but I thought you said you were just going to get a normal job. So I'm slightly confused by what's your ambition? What are you going to say next week? You want to be like an astronaut or something? I thought you wanted to be a professional chess player.
He's gone. You're back.
I'm back. Cut it out. Do what you want. I'm sure it'll be a good video, whatever you do.